Hello and welcome to episode 112 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is feel the fear and do it anyway. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Hey guys, I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. I was up in Sydney for my lovely sister's wedding, and I spent the day emceeing her wedding. And it's quite funny because for the very first time, I think for a long time, I started to feel fear. And I felt fear in the sense that I wasn't scared of speaking in front of people. I wasn't scared that, I didn't have any trouble with speaking whatsoever, because that was once upon a time a fear of mine, but I was able to overcome that by just reframing. A lot of the times, especially when I've come across fear in any department, I've been able to reframe it and understand that for me, fear is growth. Fear can stop a lot of people, but if you feel the fear and you do it anyway, fear can become growth. A lot of the times my fear based around the weekend was trying to, obviously, it was fear around failure. It was fear around not being the best MC I could be for my sister, being her little brother and really departing and giving her the greatest gift and memory of the day. So that was the biggest fear for me. But with that being said, I took fear, I reframed it and crushed the weekend. But that got me to do this podcast episode today because a lot of the times, the difference between failing and succeeding is whether or not you take action. Now, this is one of the biggest things that I learned from Tony Robbins is that, it's a success cycle. And what I mean by that is that there's a success cycle to why the rich get richer and why the poor get poorer. And every time you run around this cycle, every time you take action and you fail, right, it makes it harder for you to take better and bigger action next time. So you need to understand that whilst taking action is a massive, massive thing, if you're taking pointless action and if you fail again and again and again and you don't change the mechanism behind your failure, it can instill a really bad and negative behavior on this. And Tony Robbins taught me about the success cycle and what it meant. And so what I want to do is I want to almost paraphrase it to you, because I think if you understand what I'm about to tell you today, it can be a complete game changer for you and your business, because a lot of the times your success in business comes down to your development as a person. And that's what I've learned in my 3-4 years growing these businesses that I grow and running the business that I run. The only difference between me succeeding and me failing is overcoming my fear. Now, there's almost a circle, and Tony starts with, your potential. And he believes that every single person, each and every single one of us has unlimited potential, right? And so that becomes, whatever our potential is. And that's okay. Everyone's got unlimited potential. The next step, there's 4 quadrants in the circle, and the next step is your belief. Now, if you believe that you're going to succeed 110%, if you have that strong faith, if you are completely certain, you have no doubt you're going to succeed, then it's going to drive you to take massive action. And the action that you take isn't only massive, but it's compelled by precision. It's backed by complete certainty. The action that you take when you know that you're going all in, when you know that you're the shit, when you know that you're the best of the best, the action that you take is completely different to the action that you take if you don't. Okay? And so the first quadrant is your potential. The second quadrant is your belief, your level of certainty in yourself. If you believe with 100% certainty that you're the best at what you do, or even if you're not the best at what you do, you will become the best, and that, you're a person that gets results, then the action that you take is completely immense. And of course, because you take massive action, because you believe in yourself, the likelihood of the result is going to be success. Okay, the likelihood that you achieve success is going to be very, very high. And when you achieve this success, what it does is it raises your potential, because now you've leveled up again. You actually move up your potential because it's unlimited. And once you see that, it reignites this belief pattern, right? And you go and you say to yourself, wow, holy crap, I am the best. I can do this. This for a long period of time. This is what, this is especially, coming in to mid 2016. This is how I was feeling when I was believing and I was taking massive action and I achieved the results that I achieved. There'd be no way in hell I would have achieved what I was able to do and pull off things that I was able to do if I didn't believe and have this level of certainty. Now, that's the success cycle, but there's also the failing cycle. That goes to explain why the rich get richer. Now, the failing cycle is this. Everybody has unlimited potential in the first quadrant. Now, if you believe that you can't do it, if you have fear, if you are fearful, if you are uncertain that you can't do it, is the second quadrant, right? Is your level of belief, your level of certainty. If you are not certain, what is the level of action that you're going to take? Well, if you're not certain, you're not going to take really big action. You might do something, but you might only just go, oh, well, I'll give it a try. I'm really shit at Facebook ads, but okay, I'll give it a try. And then naturally, what happens is you achieve little to no result. And so what happens when you achieve little to no results is that you reinstate that belief. You reinstate and you say to yourself, see, I knew I was shit at Facebook ads. I knew I shouldn't have done Facebook ads. And so what that does to your potential is it reduces your potential and you begin to shrink. You begin to shrink. And so what happens when you shrink is that you have this negative pattern, because the next time you try Facebook again, you're already coming in with a limiting belief. You're coming in with a negative pattern, a negative cycle, and your belief pattern is horrible. It's in this really poor, uncertain state. So the chances of you succeeding become harder and harder and harder because you ride this ring, right? And so what I want to share that with you today is because you have to be very, very careful about fear and what fear can do to you. Now, fear, if you can overcome fear and you can get into that positive success cycle, you're a winner. You're going to fucking dominate, right? But if you let fear overcome you and if you take crappy action and not high level certain action with a high belief in yourself, that's going to cause a negative effect on your belief pattern, and that's going to allow you to run this cycle. And that's what I did for many, many years. Because all I would do is, although I took massive action, I see this a lot of the times, a lot of trainers out there, and you might be listening to this, and you might have taken massive action, but you might not have had that breakthrough yet. That big breakthrough? The breakthrough where things just suddenly fall into place and things start working? That is because of this negative belief pattern that you're instilling every time you take action and it doesn't work out. So why I want to share that with you is because I want you to be aware of the unconscious, the things that you're not aware about, the things that you don't actually think about, the unconscious forces that are driving your behavior and are driving your belief patterns to get you the result that you're getting. Because it's not all by chance. These things don't fall in by luck. The people that take massive action and believe in themselves, they generally get the results they're after. The people that take massive action but don't believe in themselves, they don't get any results. And so a lot of the time, inside the game of business, it's whether or not you can overcome your mindset, whether or not you can understand and you can master your behavior, okay, and understand why you do certain things and what you're really doing it for, and how do you overcome fear. Because the difference between success and failure is your ability to control your state and overcome fear. Because if you can overcome fear and get yourself to believe with complete conviction and certainty that you're going to drive forward, then nothing can stop you. And I'm here to tell you that today because I think it's an important message for you to hear, that even if you're tired, even if you've failed before, you can either move off your negative belief pattern, that negative cycle, and jump onto the positive cycle. All you need to do is make that breakthrough and shift that belief pattern. And I don't say this to be airy-fairy. I don't say this because I'm trying to regurgitate things. I say this because I've experienced this. And if you haven't experienced this breakthrough, it's as simple as going, okay, if you try the same thing over and over again and you expect a different result, you're insane. So if you haven't been achieving the results that you want, it's time to change. It's time to change that belief pattern. It's trying to move out of that negative pattern and start reinforcing some massive belief patterns and start doing things with complete conviction and certainty. And I know a lot of the times, in order to achieve those beliefs, those certain patterns, you need to take massive action and get a result. So go out there and get some quick wins for yourself. And that's all I've got for you today, but I really hope you enjoy this because I think this is a very, very vital and fundamental message that I want to share. And I think that if you take massive action and you start getting results, you're not too far from achieving the success that you want to achieve. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next podcast episode.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.